Randy, welcome. In addition to Powell indicating that the Fed may be slowing down its pace of interest rate hikes, he also says that there's a chance that the decline that we're seeing in job openings may not lead to a steep rise in the unemployment rate.
So he's hopeful that he can have the immaculate disinflation. That is, that what we can do is bring the inflation rate down without having the unemployment rate go up very much. We've never done that before. I don't want to say it's impossible, but I wouldn't say it's very likely. I do think the labor market at some point will crack. And basically, Powell kind of said that. Jay sort of said, we really need to see some of the heat come out of the labor market. So I think they've been very optimistic to say that peak unemployment rate is going to be no more than 4.4%. I think much like I very much agree with Steve that I think the Fed is going to end at with a 5 handle on interest rates, and I think the unemployment rate is going to be above 5%.
Yeah, Randy. I mean, okay, 5%, and then I guess the next question is for how long? Because 5% itself is one thing. 5% for 5 years is a totally different animal.
So I don't think it's going to be 5 years, or at least I'm hopeful that it's not 5 years. But I do think it's going to take a while for inflation to come down, really for the reasons that Jay Powell was talking about. I mean, we're starting to see some come down and step down in rents. But the way we calculate the housing services part of the inflation indices, it has a lag in it. So it's looking at not only rents today, but also rents that have been negotiated over the last few months. So that's going to take a while to come down. And we've seen a lot of pressure in the services sector because there's such a hot labor market. And it's going to be a while before the wage rates start to come down. So that's why I think it'd probably be most of 2023 before we see inflation starting to come down, but for something that Mr. Putin might do or some other geopolitical shock. So I'm putting those aside for the moment, but obviously there's a risk that something could go wrong somewhere in the world.
Yeah, barring those external shocks, Steve, Powell seemed to suggest that a soft landing is still achievable.
Yeah, and first of all, I would like to give Randy Kroszner publicly points for the concept of an immaculate disinflation. I don't know, Randy, if you take points over Zelle or over PayPal or whatever, but I'd like to send you a few. And the idea that Powell thinks he can achieve it. But here's the key thing, I think, to come at that, which is, I think, an answer to Seema's question. Powell would love for that to happen. He's been talking about this, by the way, Seema, for a long time. They can bring down job openings without increasing unemployment. That's possible. But the thing that I think you need to hear Powell saying as well is he's willing to do it in an unimmaculate way. He is willing to allow the unemployment rate to drift higher, expect it to drift higher. And indeed, if you read this speech with a hawkish squint in your eye, you would understand that Powell doesn't really see a way of bringing down inflation without serious slack being created in the labor market. He said that the labor supply problem is not going away. It's not going to fix itself. Retirees continue to leave the labor force at a fast rate. They ain't coming back. We have an immigration problem, which we've been talking about. By the way, there's a long footnote in his speech about the immigration problem. And Congress is not about to solve that as far as I know. So therefore, the only way to solve that problem is for the Fed to create the slack in the labor market, because it's not coming from the government. It's not coming from supply.